Right then. Hello. Let's get this closer. I'm Phoebe and I'm on a music discovery journey. That basically means there's a lot of music I've missed growing up and in recent years, decades. And I wanted to share my music discovery journey with you. So that's the reason I started this channel. And I've already come across some really interesting bits of music that I might have thought about listening to one day and just never gotten around to it, or there's loads of stuff coming up that I'm excited to hear from bands that I've heard before, or there are bands that I've never heard of before that I want to be recommended gems. And this is quite a special one. We're going back a few decades to Pink Floyd. A lot of people have mentioned Pink Floyd on the channel. Honestly, I've been like, well, I know Pink Floyd. I've heard of them. I know my mum loves them. She's got their albums. And then it dawned on me, do I know any Pink Floyd songs? Well, I've had a little bit of a research and I've written a couple of bits of notes that I found interesting, but I also want to hear some lore from you. So I try and do a little selective bit of research beforehand, which is really difficult for me because I have ADHD and autism and I like to deep dive. But instead we're going to deep dive into Pink Floyd songs. Now, what was I writing in my notes? So Pink Floyd, they're a British rock band. They've been around since the 60s. They formed in 1965 and it was Nick Mason, David Gilmour, Syd Barrett, Richard Wright and Roger Waters. Richard and Roger left in the 80s, but they reunited a few years back for Live 8. Now I know that. I imagine that's pretty common knowledge, or it's a bit of general knowledge that I've gathered over the years. Maybe because my mum really enjoyed their music. The name was taken from a combination of Pink Anderson and Floyd Council, who were American blues musicians. That was pretty cool. I think their original name, which I cannot remember, was already in use, so they had to change it. And basically they've been around since the dawn of time, or 1965, since I just said that a minute ago. But they were the first psychedelic groups that came out of the UK, and they're pretty much well known for being the leaders of rock, right? They're one of the big ones. And I'm just sat here thinking, why can't I reel off a Pink Floyd song? So then I started looking at their discography and I was like, will I recognise any of these? Now, The Wall and particularly Dark Side of the Moon were two albums that I was like, okay, I've heard of those. And I've heard of those because, one, they've won some notable awards. Pretty sure they won some Grammys for those, or they're in halls of fame and stuff. And I'm pretty sure it's due to those two for a large part of that. Also, my mum has their albums. Also, there are very familiar covers that you recognise certain imagery, or at least I do. I think my memory is a bit more. I remember things, basically, that if I see images. So I was looking at the song listing, the track listings, and one of them came up, Comfortably Numb, and I know I recognise the name. And I think I kind of sort of remember part of it, but I'm not sure. So I've dug around, and on Pink Floyd's YouTube, I'll link the actual video below, is a 9-minute 35 live performance of Comfortably Numb. This was released in 1980, 6 years before I was born. The Wall, so this came from The Wall, was released in 1979. And yeah, I'm gonna have to, it's only natural to check it out. In fact, I'm kind of embarrassed that when people were suggesting it, I could not think of a Pink Floyd song. I wouldn't have been able to think of Comfortably Numb off the top of my head because I didn't realise it was Pink Floyd. But I've definitely heard the title. Anyways, diving straight in. I will pause along the way.
Is there anybody in there?
In your mind?
If you can hear me, is there anyone at home? Come on now, I hear you feeling down, and I can ease your pain, get you on your feet again.
Okay. Is there anyone home? So the lights are on, no one's home. Metaphor of someone kind of being out of it, or not with it, not quite there. Are they sick? Are they like a dementia situation? But I'll help you get on your feet again. I'm going to save you. I can ease your pain. I hear you're feeling down. Okay. I did have the lyrics. This is gonna... Okay, just so I've got them, so I don't have to keep going back and checking. Nod if you can hear me. So there's definitely someone, they're talking to someone. I can ease your pain and get you on your feet again.
Ease your pain, get you on your feet again.
Also the music, the instruments.
Need some information first. Just the basic facts. Can you show me where it hurts? There is no pain you are receiving.
I have heard this. I have heard the chorus. Yes. Is it in a film or something? Is it in a movie? I need the basic fact. Are we in a hospital? Are we dying? Is this just before we're dying? Oh gosh.
You are receiving. The distant ship smoke on the horizon.
That's a good metaphor.
You are only coming through in waves. Your lips move, but I can't hear what you're saying. When I was a child, I had a fever. My hands felt just like two balloons.
God, this is really... I see what they mean by psychedelic now. Also, the amalgamation of instruments that are playing, that sounds really cool. It's a organ keyboard thing. Sorry, I'm really bad with technical stuff. I should be a bit more respectful. But the organ sound, the guitars, everything is making it seem a bit wavy as well. They're talking about when they were a child, they had a fever. Their hands felt light. Is balloon? Yeah, they're going through the details of how they felt.
Hands felt just like two balloons. Now I've got that feeling once again. I can't explain. not how I am.
I didn't notice the backing singers before. It's a nice harmony to what he's singing. I didn't know if it was in my head. I thought it was the rest of the band. Either way, it doesn't matter. It sounds nice. It sounds dreamlike, and it still sounds like we are dying. We're in pain. We're losing grip with the world, coming through in waves. That's like in and out of consciousness. That's what I'm getting. And so this is from the perspective. Wait, are they talking to us, the patient? Because they're saying your lips are moving, but I can't work out what you're saying.
This is not how I am. I have become comfortably numb.
More sorry. Well, I'm not sorry. I just have to process everything as it comes, because otherwise I'll forget, especially with so long. Morphine to ease the pain. Morphine putting you in that really dreamlike state, or losing grip, dying again. So the song suggests a dark theme. I guess I never really thought about that. But obviously Comfortably Numb is obviously someone, I don't even know how to articulate that other than what it actually is, but in that state of whatever you're feeling, whatever the bad negative feeling is, you're in a comfortable state of numbness, which again is, I'm not a very good dictionary, am I? It's not really giving any other description other than what it is, plain and simple.
Have become comfortably numb.
That was very nice. No, I love a guitar solo. That it was very soothing, calming, dreamlike state. Again, this is well on brand. The music, it really accompanies the lyrics well. It's I can understand already why it's so well praised. Also, it's not too arrogant. It's quite cozy. Is that the word I'm looking for? It's just chill. It's just chill. I'm not doing anything too much, but I'm gonna add this bit in, and it just really works well with it. Yeah, definitely heard that in a movie.
Just a little pinprick. There'll be no more. But you may feel a little sick.
A pinprick, like a blood test, or an injection. More injections. Aren't we on morphine already? What was that instrument? What was it? The little twinkle. Oh my god, I loved it. I loved it. Hang on.
Just a little
actually, the chorus is me, coming from the perspective of the sick person. But then it's the perspective of someone talking to us, the medical staff. That's what I'm getting. I love that's so good. There'll be no more. There'll be no more. Just a little bit like there'll be no more pain. Although we only have to do this once. Oh.
There'll be no more.
Why not?
But you may feel a little sick.
That is so good.
How can you stand up? A two-wheel that's working good. Well, that'll keep you going through the show. Come on, it's time to go.
That'll keep you going through the show that is life. Come on, it's time to go. You're better? No, you're not better. I don't think you'll be better that instantly. Or are we... Or... that'll keep you going through the show of this. Are we now assuming it's like a movie scene? That'll keep you going, but actually, come on, your time has come. This is the end. That's not too far-fetched, right? That could work.
There is no pain you are receding. A distant ship smoke on the horizon.
Oh, I love that.
You are only coming through in waves.
That's the keys that I'm hearing. I can't. It's so hard to try and speak and listen. God, it's so cool. It's so wavy. It's so... This is not one of those pumped up banger playlists. This is for my relaxing, meditating, chilled out vibes playlist. I love it. I really love it.
You are only coming through in waves. Your lips move, but I can't hear what you're saying. When I was a child, I caught a fleeting glimpse out of the corner of my eye. I turned to look, but it was gone. I cannot put my finger on it now. The child is grown, the beat is gone, and I have become comfortably numb.
Are they saying, when I was a child I caught a fleeting glimpse of what it could be? No, because it's out the corner of my eye, not caught a glimpse of how it feels. Are they trying to remember when they're saying I can't put my finger on it now? The child is grown, the dream is gone. It's like the past trying to resurface some memories, but you can't quite reach them. You're slowly slipping away.
I've become comfortably numb.
Another one! We're getting spacey. goes on? I'm not complaining. Well, there were two things that I was trying to hold on and remember to remember and wait until the end. It's been very difficult because I've forgotten what one of them was, which is why I stopped so much. The thing opening up in the middle is the light, right? The light at the end of the tunnel, but like the end of life, stairway to the afterlife. That's what it felt like. That was wild. The guitar, it did not stop, that solo, and I was not mad at it. I was just stunned how long it went on for. But I already knew the song was 9:35, or at least that's the length of the video. So, in fact, I've paused it and we're 18. Sorry. Just rightly so. Wow. Absolutely deserved a standing ovation. Fuck me. Wow. I've sat on that for 45, 46 years. What the fuck? More mistakes have been made. I'm so glad that I've been able to share that through this medium with you out there watching. I hope you liked my commentary, but I'm gonna talk a bit more. The lyrics have an about at the bottom. Okay, we're gonna read that as well. Just I need to know if I was right. What else was I gonna say? Right, okay. Summary of how I feel about the song. It's definitely going on a bangers playlist. That there's no doubt about that. That is one of the greatest songs. Start to finish, it was so calming. It did have that psychedelic theme, that dreamlike state, feeling just that bit too far away from real consciousness. The way they did that with the sounds and the lyrics, that instrument, I don't know what it was. Was it a bell of some kind or a triangle? I don't think it was a triangle. It sounded like it had more dimension to it. If you know, let me know. I could also Google that. But I like finding out lore from the comments. I like finding out more facts. If you've got any Pink Floyd facts that I may not have shared already, there's a lot, I'm sure. Let me know. Okay. Pink's emotional journey into the past is both... Wait, Pink... Are we talking about a person? Do they use Pink Floyd as... Is that like a... Are they calling Pink Floyd a person taken from those two names? Anyway, Pink's emotional journey into the past is both interrupted and heightened when his management breaks into the hotel room and has a doctor inject him with a drug that will snap him out of his drug-induced malaise, ensuring that he can still perform at a concert later that evening. Oh, the show! Hang on. The show... That'll keep you going through the show. Okay, he's not dying. False alarm, everyone. Oh. Sorry about that. How I was wrong. That's quite funny. But actually but also, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. I love interpreting things because of how it can be interpreted differently, and how that felt like it was spot on for me. I thought I was hitting the bullseye there. Oops, more mistakes have been made. It's okay. If I go back through them, maybe I'll think differently. Roger Waters, sorry, I say Waters, it was Waters. Roger Waters wrote the lyrics inspired by an experience where he was injected with tranquilizers before a 1977 concert in Philadelphia. That was the longest 2 hours of my life, trying to do a show when you can hardly lift your arm. When they say balloons, does that mean your arms are heavy? He was talking about his arms felt like balloons. Or does he mean that his arms feel so heavy that they were like balloons and now they're not? Or lead balloons? Are we talking lead balloons? That makes more sense. Okay, yeah, and that's it. That's all. That's all I can see, I think. Oh, hang on. What did Pink Floyd say about Comfortably Numb? After Bring the Boys Back Home, there is a short piece where a tape loop is used. The teacher's voice is heard again, and you can feel the groupie saying, "Are you feeling okay?" And there's the operator saying, "There's a man answering." And there's a new voice introduced at that point, and there's somebody knocking on the door saying, come on, it's time to go, right? So the idea is that they are coming to take him to the show because he's got to perform that night. And they come into the room and they realise something is wrong. And they actually physically bring the doctor in. And Comfortably Numb is about his confrontation with the doctor. Does this song appear in a movie? This song, along with the other songs from The Wall, appear in the 1982 movie, Pink Floyd The Wall. I haven't seen that. I was thinking more like Donnie Darko or something that has a dreamlike state or a hallucinating state, which would go well with that sound. But I have not seen Pink Floyd The Wall, as far as I know. I'm going to have to watch it now, aren't I? There's more. What have artists said about the making of the song? In an interview with Guitar World, David Gilmour explained, I recorded a demo of it when I was at Super Bear Studios previously, doing my first solo album. We changed the key of the opening section from E to B, I think. Then we had to add a couple of extra bars so Roger could do the line, I have become comfortably numb. But other than that, it was very simple to write. And it was all done before the orchestration was added. There was... Okay. So they have orchestrations... Okay. That might be why it sounded so grand. Or do they not have that in the live show? It felt like there was more to it than just guitars, drums, voice, and backing singers. But maybe they don't. Maybe it sounds even... now I'm going to have to listen to the original version, aren't I? I should have listened to the original version before listening to the live version. But this seemed like one of their most popular videos that I could find of Comfortably Numb. So I was hoping there would be a reason behind that. Brilliant show, brilliant performance from first glance. There were arguments about how it should be mixed and which backing tracks should be used. I think it was more of an ego thing than anything else, which is why they parted ways a while back, right? We actually went head to head over which of two different drum tracks to use. If you put them both on a record today, I don't think anyone could tell the difference, but it seemed important at the time. So it ended up with us taking a drum fill out of the one version and putting it into the other version by editing a 16-track tape, splitting it down the middle, so you have two strips of tape 1 inch wide. Okay. God, I love finding out stuff like that. I love a bit of background info. I also grabbed something from I think it was the Wikipedia page for Comfortably Numb. The lyrics were written by the bassist Roger Waters, who recorded his experience... Who recorded his experience of being injected with tranquilizers before a performance in 1977. It's here again. It's not death. It's not morphine. It's just tranquilizers. Although it's after he was a naughty boy, it seems. Anyway, the music was composed by the band's guitarist, David Gilmour. Waters and Gilmour argued during the recording, with Waters seeking an orchestral arrangement and Gilmour preferring a more stripped-down arrangement. They compromised by combining both versions, and Gilmour said the song was the last time he and Waters were able to work together constructively before it all fell apart. Because they left in the 80s, right? Comfortably Numb is one of Pink Floyd's most popular songs. Yeah. For me, anyway, that seems like the only one that I've really that I really recognised from first glance. Like, if I had to choose the biggest, most well-known one, that would be it. So maybe I've gone in basic. For me, obviously, this is my journey, and I just wanted to check if it was something that was familiar in sound or just by name. Because Dark Side of the Moon, that's, I'm sure there's a Jim Morrison track that is Dark Side of the Moon, and that's not a Pink Floyd, but it's maybe reference to that. We can get into that another time, but Comfortably Numb, on one hand, I thought it was a Bowie song. And maybe because it's got that sound as well, that psychedelic feel. So it's good to know it's Pink Floyd, and now I'm a bit more with it in terms of information. So Comfortably Numb is one of Pink Floyd's most popular songs and is notable for its 2 guitar solos. Yeah, there were 2. That was the other thing. The other thing I wanted to mention was the numerous guitar solos, and the one that extended for so long, which was so interesting to hear its direction that it kind of glided around in, and it warped and it changed and it went on a journey of its own, and it just evolved into different things with its sound, different sounds. That was really, really cool. And I just was in awe of how it kept changing, how good it sounded, and how purposefully done, how much that was needed to complete the song. They could have finished it after the second verse and that chorus, but they said no, this needs a bit more. And I think with the whole theme of it being someone on tranquilizers, being a bit out of it, just makes you feel that story so much more. And he's not dying, thankfully. Having said that, two of the members passed away. Syd Barrett passed in 2006 and Richard Wright passed in 2008. I remember that being very popularly talked about quite a lot. Some great talent there. In 2021, it was ranked number 179 on Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. Are we going to have to go down one of those routes as well? Checking out the greatest songs of all time. There's too many rabbit holes at the moment, but I just want to consume it all. I feel so passionate about learning and about hearing. Music is so good for the soul. They say it all the time. It really is. There are sounds for all types of moods. There are sounds that can bring you out of a mood into a more positive mood. There are songs that make you feel deeply, darkly, and that is so beautiful about music. And Pink Floyd have absolutely captured that feeling that I get from listening to music, just being in awe of how something can sound and be constructed. The structure of it was incredible. It was really nice and pleasant for my ears. It became the last song ever performed by Waters. The last song ever performed by Waters, Gilmour, keyboardist Richard Wright, and drummer Nick Mason together. Oh. And they had, Scissor Sisters covered, apparently. When I say I don't think I recognise. I probably will if I heard it. Gilmour contributed guitar to a cover by Body Count released in 2024. Interesting. There's always more, like when I listen to one more song, there's always more. There's like a whole tree with branches that spawns out to other areas and other directions I can go. And that's a great problem to have, by the way. This channel's not going anywhere if I can help it. And I just want to consume all the stuff. So I've talked your ears off for so long. I'm so sorry. If anyone is still here, please let me know in the comments by saying still here. And thank you so much for listening to the inner workings of my mind. And sometimes we get it wrong, but that was really cool. I'm really pleased that I got to listen to that for the first time in September of 2025. Wow. We got a lot to learn. Okay, take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.